Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Dennis here with Jelsons.com, and we're continuing our video series on every door direct mail retail and walking you through the steps to get started in sending out your first mailer. Now, before we get started, if you are looking for more content on direct mail and every door direct mail, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell so that you get notified when we upload more content. Now, in our first video, I talked about setting up your account with the United States Postal Service. And if you missed that video, go back and watch it to set up your free account. I'll post a link to that video here and in the description below. Now, after today's lesson, you'll know how to target your audience geographically, how big your local market actually is, 3 different ways to grow in your local market, how to use the route selection tool. And if you stick to the end, I'll share a tip on how you can use every door direct mail to break into a new area quickly. So let's jump into it. The first thing that we'll be looking at is how to target your audience geographically. And every door direct mail is a simple tool that allows you to do just that. So let's head over to the USPS website. And the way that you will get to the tool, the route selection tool to use every door direct mail, you'll go to the business section here on their website and they'll scroll down to using Eddm. You'll click that. And it'll be this button here, this area, this section here, I'm sorry. And you'll click Eddm online tool. So this is, you'll be spending a lot of time here when you are doing your research and looking for the routes that you actually want to send your mailer to. So what we'll have to do is plug in our address, your business address, or zip code that you want to send your mailers to. Now, I went ahead and I pulled up an address for a auto repair shop here in the area. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is how big your local market actually is. All right, so we've got our address here. We've got our address plugged in. What I want you to do then is to click search one more time so that it'll pull up the radius option. So within your local area, you can send mailers out up to a 5-mile radius of your business. And when you do that, you will see that there is a number of people that we can actually reach in our local area. And what I like to do is I try to get as close as I can to capture as much of my area, my local area that I can within a 5-mile radius, so that I can see these are all of the homes and the businesses that I'll be able to reach. And what I like to do if I'm just getting started and I haven't done any kind of direct mail or I haven't used every door direct mail before, this is a good reference tool just to see, okay, what areas can we actually market to that are local to us where we can actually grow our business. So I like to do a screenshot of this here. Oops, let me move this over here. And what I'll do is I'll just take a screenshot of this area. And then we'll just save that. I just want you to see this here. Let's see, local area. You can't see it on my screen, but I'm saving just a screenshot to my desktop. All right, so now I've got that. And what I'll do with this is I'll take this screenshot here and I'll print it on a larger piece of paper, like an 8.5 by 11 or an 11 by 17 sheet of paper, just so that I can have a reference and I can just have that available to me when I go to do my next mailing or figure out, okay, what area do I want to target next first for these mailings. And what I want to show you right now is let's just take a look at how many people we actually have in this audience. So in our local area, we can reach 106,524 businesses, and residents. All right. So that's everyone that's in our local area. That's 5 miles. All right. And then we'll uncheck that and we'll go back to our map view. And so now that we know how big our market is, we have to decide how we want to get started to grow in our local market. Because with every door direct mail retail, you can only send out 5,000 pieces per day. So we'll have to eat this elephant one bite at a time. Now, there's 3 different ways that I recommend growing in your local market, and they're all based off of the radius around your business. The first one is a 1 mile radius. So we'll just click this here. All right, so now that this is set up, so a 1 mile radius, everyone in this group should be aware of your business. They should know that your doors are open. They should know that you're doing business. They should know what products and services you have to offer. Now, one thing to understand though, with the routes is that any route that starts within your radius will be available for you to select. Now, as you can see, some of these routes extend out past our 1 mile radius, which is fine. The way every door direct mail is set up and how it works is that you have to mail to a complete route. So, for example, we can see this route here, which is route, if you're looking, you can see the routes up here on the top left. This route here is route 48223-C004. This one extends outside our radius on 2 sides. But in order for us to mail to this route, we have to mail, we have to mail to the complete route. You can't mail to partial routes. It's a saturation. So you have to mail to every door on the route. All right. Hence the name Every Door Direct Mail. Now, the next way we can actually reach out to our audience is extending our radius. We're going to extend it out now to 3 miles. And now within a 3 mile radius, you can definitely have a successful business locally if you own the 3 mile radius around your business. All right. So going back over to our table view here, and I'll go back to the other one as well. There's 46,223 residents and businesses within a 3 mile radius that we can reach. So if you own this market, you can definitely have a successful business locally. And then if we go back here to our 1 mile radius, so you can see the difference in how many people are in that area. This one has 8,323 businesses and residents that you can reach within a 1 mile radius of your business. And then last, we'll go back up to our 5 mile radius. And with our 5 mile radius, this is where 85% of your business can come from. We just have to figure out and decide on a strategy on how you're going to reach them, right? There's a number of people here that you can reach out to. So those are 3 different ways to grow in your local market. You have your 1 mile radius where everyone knows who you are. If you're just getting started, I would definitely start with the 1 mile radius. And because there is a cap on every door direct mail, all right, you can only send out 5,000 pieces at a time. We won't be able to send out our mail piece to all of these routes in our first mailing. Okay. And so what we'll have to do is we'll have to do a second drop. Okay. And what a drop is, this is just simply another delivery to the post office of your mailing. All right. To send out your mailing. That's all that is. So if you hear someone talking about mail, how many mail drops do you need? It just means how many deliveries do we have to make to the post office to complete this mailing. All right. And so here, as you can see, I've selected all the routes and I got this note here. Hey, your order cannot exceed 5,000 mail pieces. So we'll have to uncheck a few of these routes in order to fall under the 5,000 pieces. And you can go in and you can, look at, there's different demographics that we can take a look at so that you can select the most relevant routes for your product or your service that you are looking to use. So just with this, okay, we're at 46.80. All right. The cost for postage is going to be just under $900, and we can print this many pieces, deliver to the post office, and within the next 2 to 3 days, all those mailers will have been delivered to all of these businesses and residents. So now that you know how big your market is and a few different ways to reach out and market to them, let's start finding some routes to send our mailer. And so what I want to do right now is just kind of walk you through this tool here and some different ways that you can use it. So the first way, which I've been using so far, is the map view. And with the map view, you can just select the routes individually, and you can see the information pops up as you hover over the different routes. And this is if they're not selected. So when they're not selected, you can it'll show you the information regarding these routes. So I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to uncheck these really quick. All right. So now any of these routes that we hover over, it'll show us the number of residents, the number of businesses, the total number of pieces we'll have to print to mail to this route. And it also has, like I said, demographic information as well as the cost of postage associated with mailing to that route. So this is one way that you can select your routes. It's just by hovering over. Now, if you're more familiar with the map of your area and there's certain neighborhoods or certain areas that you want to target and that you want to reach, you can definitely use this way to select those routes. So if you want to use demographics to select your routes, the table view is a good way that you can actually use that. So we'll use the table view here to take a look at the age of people in the home, the size, so the number of people in the home, and the average income of people in the home. And you can sort these by the highest amounts, or you can sort them by the lowest amounts. Now, in order to make these changes here, we will have to go over to the map view. Let's say you want to target a younger group. So let's say age 25 to 34. All right. So now, as we move around here, you'll see there's 11.9% there in that route, 8.9 in that route, 9.9 in that route. So that's one way you can do that. And you can also change this to be a different age group if you like. So now let's move it up to 55 to 64. See here, now we've got 16.2, 21.5, 18.7. So if you have a product or service that is geared more so towards different age groups, there are options and ways where you can actually target some of that information and choosing the best routes for your mailing. Now, this is all based off of census data. So this is really good data that you can actually use to kind of make some general high level decisions about who you want to mail to. And the same thing goes for size of the people, right? So this one you can't change, but it'll just show you the people who are actually in the home. So the average number of people who are in this home, right? And if you want to do income, you can sort by that. You can't change that. Only one you can change is the age group, but the income you can actually sort. So you can sort by income, all right? It's lowest to high. You can sort by the number of people in the home. So if you want, reach homes that have more people, you can, hit some of these higher ones here. And so that's one way that you can use that, but you can target, you can click these to select the routes individually if you want to do it based off some of this demographic information, or if you want to take just more of a geographic approach and it's like there's specific areas that you want to target, the map view will probably be your best option. Now, also one thing that we can look at and change here is the type of locations that we're going to reach. So with Everydoor Direct Mail, you can reach residents and businesses, or you can reach residents only. All right. You can reach residents and businesses, or you can just reach residents only. Now, each of these routes that you select, they're going to have a different number of residents in comparison to businesses. Some will have more residents than businesses, but some of them will have a higher number of businesses. So if you want to do a mailing and you only want to reach, residents, okay, then you just click that there. And now it's only going to show you the number of residents that are on each route, and it will not include any businesses. All right. So that's one way you can do it. Or another way that you can do some targeting as well. And let's see here. What else? So we did demographics. We did businesses. Now, if you do need a list of businesses that are in your local area, feel free to contact us for more information. Or if you click here, we can get you a free market report for businesses in your area and some general information on what's available and what's around your area. So those are the different targeting options that you can use to select your routes. Remember, we can only mail out up to 5,000 pieces. And if we want to mail to all of these, just know that your first mailing is going to have 5,000 pieces or less, and then the remaining amount will have to go to the post office on a separate day. So for this route, let's say we were doing a 1 mile radius mailing, we would have to, let me just go through this here. I'm going to do it like this. Our first mailing would be, oops, here we go. All right, so our first mailing that we would send out would have 4,877 pieces, and that includes all of these routes here. And then when we did our next mailing, we'll uncheck all of these. We would have to come back on another day to mail out to the remaining routes, which would be these here. So we would have 2 mail drops to completely mail to everyone within a 1 mile radius of our business. All right. And so that takes care of that. And, since you stuck with me this far, I'm going to show you how to break into a new market quickly. All right. So let's go back to our map view. So right now, as we can see, our business here is located in the zip code 48219. But let's say, let's say, we've already reached out to our 1 mile radius. We reached out to everyone there. We've reached out to everyone in our 3 mile radius. We've reached everyone there. We've even gone out and done some additional marketing and advertising, and we've reached out to everyone in our 5 mile radius. And, our business is really, we're well known in our local area, in our local market. Everyone knows who we are. But, we want to extend out. Maybe we want to, hit Madison Heights, or maybe want to do Warren, or maybe want to go to Farmington Hills, or, maybe we want to, maybe we want to go out to Romulus or Taylor, right? And, these are areas that are not, that are way that are beyond the scope of our local area, but they still may have some interest in, doing business with us and, buying our products, buying our services. So what I'm going to show you right now is a way where you can actually break into a new area, all right, in multiple areas quickly. And this is going to be just by zip codes. So we can, let's see, let's take a look at some Farmington Hills. We got 48331. And then all you have to do is put a comma, and then you put in the whatever other zip code you have. So let's do 48067. Let's do Madison Heights, 48071. And then let's do Inkster. We got 48141. And then we hit search. And now what this will do is it will pull up the routes that are within these zip codes. So as you can see here, let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see. All right, so we've got the 48067, 48071, 48331, and 48141. And so now when we go to our table view, we can select routes in multiple areas, right, on one mailing. So we can, if we want to, we want to do a special mailing to certain areas. Let's say we want to do that route there in Farmington, and then let's do this one in Inkster. And as you can see, for each different zip code, there's going to be a different post office that you'll have to deliver deliver your mailings to. So you'll have to drop off your mailers to multiple post offices. And now this can be time consuming if you're going to be doing this on your own, driving to all these different post offices. But I don't want you to spend any time worrying about that or thinking about that right now, because later in this series, I'll show you how to complete your mailing without having to drive to multiple post offices and actually have the post office come to you to pick up your mailers to deliver them for you. And so, boom. So we got that one, and then all right. So there. So now when we look at this, we got 4 postal drop-offs. So we got the Madison Heights, Farmington Hills, Royal Oak, and Inkster. All right. So these are the 4 different post offices that we would have to deliver our mailings to, and able to actually do this mailing. And let's say we wanted to send out. All right. So now it's under 5,000 pieces. We're hitting 4 different areas. We're hitting 4 different markets in one mailing, all right, that are beyond our local area. So that's how you can break into a new market quickly. When you're searching for what area you want to send your mailing to, just plug in the zip code that you want to market to and put a comma, and then insert the next zip code, and then switch over here to our table view. Or like I said, you can use the map view as well, and you can select the routes that you want to mail to in that way as well. So that's it for today's video. We'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys got some great value out of this video, and you are doing your research now to find out, one, how many pieces you're going to have to print for your first mailing. If you want to start with just a 1-mile radius around your business, or if you want to mail to certain routes within a 5-mile radius of your business, or if you want to use this tip here that we used, and maybe you've done every door direct mail before, but you didn't know that you could mail to multiple routes and multiple zip codes on one mailing. So we'll see you guys next time, and hope you have a great rest of your day.